back to Adventure Hook, Dark Sun, Fire, and Sand. Sorry, we've been talking about perhaps changing the name of the game to Dark Sun Technical Difficulties. But we shall prevail eventually, hopefully. At any rate, as usual, I'm your host TM, Aaron Campbell, and with us, as always, let's start at the top with Marc. Everybody want to introduce themselves and just say what character you are playing.
Hi, I'm Marc Andreyko, and I am Char, a fire exarch dwarf.
Hi, I'm Joe Annabi. I'm playing Geza and Kraukus, Eric Cochran, Wind Exarch.
That would leave me. My name is Joe Millard, and I am playing Kraukus, the half-giant gladiator barbarian. Hey, Rob, I think that's you, bud.
Is it me? I thought it was Emily.
Oh, it's
And
Emily. It's
you're
Emily.
on
Hey,
mute.
Emily, it's you, bud.
Hello?
Can Emily hear us?
Hi, I'm Emelie. I'm playing Desi Dorada.
And hi, I'm Robert Randle, and I am playing Ma'ak Ka'ari, a Thrycreen telepath.
Good job. So, before we dive right in, which we probably want to dive in pretty quickly, is there any announcements, updates, things anybody wants to throw out before we dive right in?
No?
Okay. Well, with that in mind, I do believe I hear somebody outside in the streets of Tyr. Let me go see. Well, just keep trying. We have to find them. It's the only way to unload this particular merchandise. Just make sure that no Templar gets wind of this. Ah. Hello, all. Sorry, we are attempting to make contact with the Veiled Alliance right now. We have brought into the city-state of Tyr some particular products that only they know exactly how to traffic in, or might actually be interested in. And since I don't work with defilers, they're kind of the only way. But the Templar, or not the Templar, the Veiled Alliance, trying to contact them is almost like trying to grab hold of the wind. They're very, very clandestine lot. And they're very skittish. I've had dealings with them in the past, but every time you leave the city, it's as if you have to start your entire relationship with them back over from the beginning, because they're so worried that perhaps you may have been infiltrated or turned against them. Having said that, our clutch also is searching for the Veiled Alliance, finding hopefully their efforts are not so difficult, but it does turn out that Char was right about Bap after all. Not only was he who just so happens to be connected to the Veiled Alliance, and not only has he betrayed the party, revealing the existence of the obsidian orb to a mysterious stranger, it would seem that the true Baprasa Yanto is dead, and the one you know is in fact a doppelganger named Shazar. Who this mystery individual might be is unknown. It's clear, though, that he has some kind of hold over the imposter Bap and can control what form he takes and for how long by way of the obsidian eye in his head. This appears to have taken a significant toll on the psyche of the doppelganger, It has also been revealed that this mystery man has used Shazar to infiltrate the Veiled Alliance on 2 occasions by forcing him to assume the identity of initiates. The term for this is Murmelon, or Mermillion. And now this stranger is planning to replace a 3rd initiate. Already there is a hapless young preserver somewhere in Tyr living on borrowed time. This means that most likely the next time you encounter Shazar, you'll have no idea who they truly are. Though all of this, back up. Through all of this, Desi was laying a trap. An agent of her brother's, Pressure Vey, has emerged in Tyr and attempted to poison her with a sleeping draught. The reasons for this must be uncovered, and so Desi has taken a room in a seedy inn, making sure Pressure, or his lackey, a small child who delivered the poison, sees her appear, at least, to drink the draught. She now waits in the small, barren room just off Odeon Square. The rest of the clutch have come to the realization, though, that they can no longer communicate with Desi using Ma'ak's psionic metaconcert as they rush to find her. As they rush to find her, Desi too understands, for now at least, she is alone. So, Desi, you have made your play. You drank the poison draft in the open, hoping that Pressure would witness you, consume, and then as well assume that you are perhaps an hour from falling asleep. You found this small inn, the Mole's Rest, in a small, a narrow alley leading off of Odeon Square, deep back where it turns into a close. And you have had to spend half a ceramic piece for a night's room. So what is the trap that you are planning? What is the trap, and how are you planning on laying it and springing it?
It's pretty artless, actually. I would just like to appear under the influence of the poison on the bed with my wrist razors ready whenever anybody gets near.
Okay. So, and just to give you a better sense of where we are, you look at the map. Odeon Square is up here at the top left side of the map, where this alleyway exits. As you entered into the alleyway, you could see that there were doorways and little smaller paths that led off in many directions. The Mole's Rest is back after several bends, leading up through a very narrow passageway to a second-story doorway that led into this tiny, seedy little inn. You paid your 5 bits, half a ceramic piece, and you were given a choice. So there are 3 floors to this inn. There were rooms available on every floor, and I will go ahead and show you those floors. So here we have floor number 1, the first floor coming in, second floor, third floor. And keep in mind, each one of these squares is 5 feet. So the passageways leading through this inn are incredibly narrow. They're only about 2.5 feet wide. The stairwells, likewise, are only about 2.5 feet wide. Incredibly narrow steps. It's all stone, worn over hundreds of years. The stairs themselves are pretty treacherous to go up. It's almost pitch black inside here. The only natural light filtering in is at the very end of the narrow hallways as they lead to the north, which open up these small slits that open up into a sort of like courtyard that exists in between all of the buildings crowded into this space, and that opens up to the sky above you, above the 3rd floor, or actually above the 4th floor, because there's a floor below the main floor of the inn. And that light itself just filters in so dimly, but there are small little alcoves along the walls that hold small little oil burning lamps that give you just enough dim light to see here and there. But you are given a small oil lamp to guide your way. You are warned against setting fires by accident. And again, you are allowed to choose which bedroom you would like to occupy and set your trap.
Last time, as we were wrapping up, my internet connection was really, really bad, and I only caught a word here or there. And I do recall, I don't know what it was in relation to, but I do recall you saying something about a little door.
Oh, yes. So that was your disconnection. That was something that happened inside your psychic space. As you were moving through Odium...
Okay, so there wasn't literally...
No, it was this thing that you suddenly perceived inside your mind, where inside your psychic space, this space that typically up until now you had been occupying with the rest of the clutch through Ma'ak's metaconcert, that space now presented to you as a closed room with a really tiny little door that you yourself couldn't hope to fit through, and was itself locked tightly. So this did
So I don't have to worry
cause a
about
certain amount of
gnomes.
anxiety. No. I mean, who knows what might come through that door if it were to be allowed to open. But it is a cause for concern, because you do know now that you have, you have lost all connection with the rest of the clutch.
Okay, so well now I have to replan everything, so it's not for gnomes. I'm kidding.
Do you want me to give you a couple moments to think about that plan while I return to the others who are now desperately looking for you? Or do you have an idea already?
Yeah, let's wrap up that story. No,
Okay,
just
so-
wrap that up.
Okay, so think about how you want to deal with this little hitch, this little wrench that got thrown into the monkey works, and we'll be right back as we head over to the rest of the clutch, who at this point have basically just dispatched the guards, basically encouraging them to give up the fight. They fled back into the alleyway from whence they came, where Char had overheard the conversation between Bap, or Shazar now, and this mysterious individual. Char had launched a flaming sphere at Bap as he was in the midst of betraying his location, and guards were sent after him. You fought them off, and they decided it wasn't worth it, and fled back into the close. At this point, you're quite certain that you'll have no luck of finding Bap, having obviously fled with the mysterious individual. And you're all very well aware now that you've lost connection with Desi.
Well, I think that's where we left last time. Ma'ak had actually been following them, but realizing that Desi was no longer in connection, he turned right around and
he started asses and elbows. Yeah.
Right. It basically collected the others because we're all still in concert. So, and the idea was we were going back to the last place that Ma'ak knew where she was and try to pick up her trail. So, assuming everybody else is like right on his heels.
Mm-hmm.
So I think when you left Desi, you were somewhere near the entrance into Odium Square. Give me just a second. I'm going to place Desi's token where, at least over here in the inn. or at least outside the inn. Okay. And let me pull up our map of the Caravan Way. Sorry, give me just a second. There we go. Hopefully that shows up. Does everybody see that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you guys have basically where you ran back into Char is down here, basically directly across the street from the Golden Inex in what is called the Circuit, this kind of half moon shaped area of the Caravan Way. And you had been coming out of this, your encounter happened just inside the mouth of the alleyway leading off of the Circuit. So you're here down in this direction, and you'll have to make your way all the way back up the Caravan Way to this circular area, which is Odium Square.
Okay. And that was, I think, where we saw presumably the crowd of urchins or orphans or whatever they were, where Desi made her performance to drink the poison in the first place. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically where Ma'ak is trying to find an urchin he recognizes from who was on the street the last time they were here. Is his plan.
Give me an investigation check.
Sure thing. And for what it's worth, Ma'ak does have, photographic memory. So investigation is also something he is skilled at. So nice.
With the photographic, I guess
25.
I would give you, I'll give you advantage on that with that.
Oh,
with
I
that
probably don't
number.
need it. I just rolled a 25, but I will take it. Now. And on 11. So 25.
25. Okay. You do see one of the street urchins, one of the individuals who obviously must work for the Fuller here, the Fuller's urn. Stays close to the urn, is obviously talking consistently with the woman who operates this particular urn here in Odium Square, and is kind of hawking to the crowd to use that one.
I'm sorry. Okay. Is this the same urn that girl robbed?
No. That's the one that's just within the caravan gate up here in the north.
Different one then. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's the Dracamon's urn. This is the Odin's urn.
Okay, understood. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Don't want to get our piss pots confused.
Yeah.
Then Ma'ak will approach the girl, and he knows he's starting to learn the value of this stuff. He doesn't understand why they value it, but he's starting to treat it like bait. And so he'll pull out one of those ceramic wedges, right? And he'll go up to the girl and just taunt her with it, like I'll give you this, right? And then he will try to make he will make psychic contact with her, not into the meta concert, just the lower level, the one that's based on language. So we're basically speaking common.
Okay.
And then actually no, I'm sorry, Ma'ak will pull her into the meta concert because he needs to share thoughts and stuff. So
are you going after the child, or
I'm going to the child because it's the one you said he recognized, right?
Yeah.
So he's tantalizing her with this piece of bait, and then he will make meta concert with her and say, Fuller's urn, child, do you recall seeing this woman? And he will share a memory of Desi on this street, not like 15 minutes ago or however long it's been. It's probably been longer, but hasn't been that long.
Here. Sorry, mister. I don't think I recognize that one. I'm not sure. It might see a lot of people go past here, mister.
Do I mean, I'm just making an insight check, and these are, humans, so, or sleepers at least. So I imagine I'm not so great at it, but I want to see if I think that the child is lying to me, or whether it's trying to get money out of me or more
Okay.
bait. And I roll a 5, so
Roll 5.
yeah. Then I'll probably just pawn. Not that Thrycreen can shrug, but I'll turn back to the group and say, the child hasn't seen Desi. Do you recognize any others that might?
This is investigation or insight? I guess investigation, right?
Yeah, it would be investigation.
Okay.
Not very
Or
good.
I turn to Cha'ar and Geza. Can your spirits help us?
I will put my hand on Char and say, you are guided. You should also investigate.
Okay.
And Mark, roll investigation and then roll an additional d4.
Cool.
And then roll a d4.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Well, wait. Who is Char looking for? Because Char wasn't there when Desi drank the potion.
Oh, I guess Char couldn't do it then. I
You
already
could
rolled.
give it to me.
I guess
Yeah,
I could.
yeah. Kraukus was there, for sure.
Sure, go for it, Kraukus.
Okay, so... Ooh, that would bring mine up to an 18.
Nice.
Sorry, no, 17. I'm a liar. I lied to you guys. It's a 17 that I rolled. Does it still count, even though I lied?
Wait, you rolled a 17?
No, I rolled a 13, then I rolled a D4.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
So
got
17
you.
investigation
Oh,
to
okay.
see if Kraukus. He's taller, right? Maybe he can see farther.
Yeah,
Maybe he's someone
Yeah.
I know.
different perspective.
Yeah, you see a young boy who's begging for change,
Okay,
moving in through the crowd that you recognized from earlier.
okay.
Came up and probably, was begging near you when Desi was drinking the draft.
Okay. Everybody has a big sense of urgency, right?
Yeah.
I think you would definitely get that from Mock.
Okay, then I start striding towards the child, and I say, in the meta concert, this one. And so I'm walking towards the kid with the intent of picking him up so he can view me eye to eye.
Okay. Well, I'll keep pace, for sure.
Okay.
Go
The
easy,
child,
Kraukus.
the child sees Kraukus running like striding up towards him, and you see him go, "Ah!" and he starts to bolt.
Don't forget bait, and I'll, again.
Okay.
Your child.
I'm going to acrobatics to try to grab that kid.
Okay,
not
give
great.
me your acrobatics versus my acrobatics.
Because that's how I rolled a 6, which
Ugh.
is dumb. Wait, no. Oh, athletics is what I need to be rolling.
Yeah, you're going after a grapple, so it's going to
Okay.
be your athletics versus
natural
athletics
20.
or athletics.
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay, let's see what I roll here.
This is not my first time grabbing a child.
Jesus.
In combat.
Oh yeah,
Which
definitely.
somehow makes that
only-
better.
Yeah. I fight kids all the time.
Combat.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so the kid starts to like kind of sees you a little too late. You're already kind of looming over him. He looks up. He starts to quake and tries to dodge, and you reach down and just grab him by the scruff of like the collar of
My
his.
hand is as big as he
and-
is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can
and
just
you just
palm
and
him.
it just you just so you just close your entire hand around his torso and just hold him up, and immediately starts to yell.
I say, child, relax. You are within the grasp of Kraukus the Great. Now, I will pay you for information. I'm not being quiet about any of this. I am looking for a woman.
Well, first, as if you have just picked up a a tadpole Bosrog. It just, you feel a hot, wet liquid start to run down the palm of your hand. And the boy,
I was just really happy to be here.
and the boy is looking at you, quivering in terror, and he mumbles, please, mister, don't crush me, please.
I will not crush you, boy. I need a response. And then I describe Desi Dorada.
Okay.
Where is she?
He goes, yeah, I remember tall woman.
Yes?
Tall woman.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she went down the alleyway.
I point him in the direction that I want to be guided in, and I say, show me, boy, and I'm walking with him like this. I'm just taking him like, oh, this way.
Well, he points. There's an alleyway off, just to the south of the odium urn, that you can see here. So just the entrance into this alleyway right here is where he's pointing at you.
Okay.
Close that. Yeah, close that. There we go. Yay! This is okay. Yeah, so that's the way he points. Please, mister, don't hurt me.
I will not. And then in meta concert, I tell one of you to pay him a ceramic bit, or a ceramic, not a ceramic bit.
Do I have one? I think I probably have enough.
Yeah, we have one somewhere, but it's not in.
Well,
my...
actually, yeah, we have all that stolen stuff from the other piss pot. So yeah. I'll just give her one. I don't care.
Yeah,
this one. He'll pull out the right, until you tell him.
Yeah.
Yep, that one.
Yes, that one. And so I hand the boy to the bug, and I'm like, here.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'll take the boy in two of my forearms, put him down on the ground, then take his hand and then put the coin like in it, and then close his fist around it, and then connect with Metaconcert. Again, sharing the image of Desi. This woman, you said, went down this alley, yes?
Yes.
Good. Very good. Now, do you remember seeing either of these? And he will share his memory of Pressure Vey slapping the boy upside the head or cuffing his ear or whatever he did after he attempted to poison Desi the first time. So I'll have their images of their faces in my mind as I share that memory. Do you remember seeing either of them?
He says, I saw the Dracoman, but he went back north up Caravan Way. After she went into the alleyway, I think the little one followed her into the alley.
Very good. Very good. I will give him a second coin and say, I will maintain concert with you. Ask your other friends. There will be coins for them as well. If they can locate Pressure Vey, I will reward them. And then I'll send the kids scurrying off.
Okay. He says, actually, he's going to do an insight check on you.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair.
Okay. You get a sense as he runs off, he probably won't be returning.
Hey,
Probably.
I won't let him know that I haven't ended the meta concert, but I might, ping him later if I need to. For now, I'll just kind of leave that line open, and maybe we should pivot to Desi as we, rush in that direction.
Yeah.
Trail.
So back to Desi. What do you got in mind now?
Sorry, were you talking to me?
Yeah. Back to you. What do you have in mind now?
Oh, my strategic mind is not working at all. My instinct is to go to the second floor and just see if there's anything that looks advantageous. I don't even know what it might be.
So up the second floor, there are 3 bedrooms. What you notice right off the bat is that all of these bedrooms that you're shown, first of all, like here, I'll zoom in just so you can see. See where there's these cuts in the wall here? Those are actually interior windows that have, sorry, go ahead.
Interior what?
Windows.
Okay.
And this is pretty common inside these kind of warrens where there's no exterior windows or very few, and it can become stifling and stagnant inside these spaces. So these windows, these apertures are cut, they connect all of the rooms, and then they're barred with like very hard wooden bars, like agafari wood, which is like almost as strong as like bone or stone. And that allows some kind of draft to move through these rooms. So you have them actually looking in between rooms. They'll be covered with a curtain on either side, which allows for a small amount of privacy, but then on the exterior as well. There are windows here. So on the second floor, there's a window up here and a window up here that looks, which is on the north side of the inn. As this very, very narrow hallway turns the corner and heads up to the 3rd floor of the inn, you have these windows that look out into the courtyard, this shaft basically that goes down. And just looking down into that courtyard, you can see down at the bottom there is in fact an exit out of the courtyard to the north, an alleyway. And then you can also see that there are doors down there leading into, apartments and stuff on the ground floor. Directly across from you can see there's windows all the way around the courtyard itself at your level, as well as the levels above, the levels below. The rooms themselves are outfitted very sparsely. There's basically just a mattress that has been made out of a threadbare sheet and some kind of straw. And that's it. Other than that, there's a small alcove in each room that allows you to set a small oil lamp, a little oil burning lamp. And that's pretty much it. And then at the very top level on the 3rd floor, there are 2 bedrooms. Again, the 2 bedrooms are connected via this window that allows for air to move through. And then the one bedroom to the north actually has a window that looks out into the courtyard. And you can see that all of the buildings around at this level, you're at the top level. So above this is the roof. You can also see that the room that you're in here, that you're shown here, has a trapdoor in the ceiling that must lead to the roof.
Oh, the trap door.
There are a few rooms that are currently occupied. So 2 of the bedrooms on the 1st floor of the inn are occupied. 1 bedroom on the second one, the middle room, is occupied, but none of the rooms in the top floor are occupied.
Okay, well, that makes me more inclined to the top.
Yeah, you've always struck me as more of a top.
Probably the top, the furthest south bedroom, because it looks like the stairs go right up into that other bedroom.
Well, the stairs go up, connect to the hallway, turn the corner, and then the door is just to the south here.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would... Wait, which one did you say had the trapdoor?
This northern room that has the window that looks out into the courtyard.
Okay.
And at this height, you are 4 stories up from the ground level of the courtyard.
And that exterior walkway, that's not an exterior walkway. That's
it's an interior. That hallway that leads up is all interior. And as you go up, like I said, the only windows that illuminate that hallway are on the north side of the inn, where those windows open up into that courtyard. Otherwise, you see these little alcoves. Those are just a place to put where they have an oil lamp. And not all of those are occupied. All of the alcoves on the first floor have burning oil lamps. On the second floor, only one, the very first one, the one closest to the stairs coming up, that has a burning oil lamp. The one furthest north that is just before where the hallway turns, that is not burning. And then on the top floor, it's almost pitch black as you come up into that top floor hall.
okay. So my thought is now to go into the southern... Oh, my thought is entirely changing. Is to go into the southernmost room, create a form on the bed, and put my lantern in there. And then, did we decide what half elves have for night sight?
Yeah, you have like the standard dark vision, 60 feet.
Okay, so in this poorly lit situation, I'll still be able to see.
Yeah. In total darkness, you will be able to see. Well, especially because these are confined spaces. I mean, these rooms are like less than 10 foot square. So in these confined spaces, you'll easily be able to see as if it's dim light.
Is there any way I can get a second lantern? Like, can I either ask at the front desk or find an abandoned one in an empty room?
Well, like I said, the lantern at the northern end of the hallway on the second floor, just before it turns to go upstairs, that alcove has a lantern in it. It's not lit.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to take if there are 2 unlit lanterns, I want to take both of those unlit lanterns. If there's only one, I'll take the one.
Well, you're given a lantern when you rent the room that allows you to light your particular room. Mm-hmm. So you could take that one, and then unless you want 3. I
want 3.
Oh, you want 3. You would probably then need to, you know what? Screw it. We'll just say that on the 3rd floor there is an alcove with a place for a lantern, and that one is not lit either.
Okay.
The landlord, the innkeeper, doesn't bother to light these lanterns unless the rooms are actually being occupied.
Okay, so I'm gonna take those. I'm gonna do up the room like I'm in it. Put a figure in the bed that's my size, my shape. Put the candle or the lantern probably next to the door where the light will be seen glowing from the hallway. I want to take the unlit lantern and cover the floor in the fuel.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go. On my lit lantern, I need to keep a flame for myself. So I'll take like maybe one of the wicks from the other lantern. I just need to keep it really, really low. And then what I would
just so you know, these are ancient style oil lamps. So they, for lack of a better description, they kind of look like an Aladdin's lamp kind of thing. They're made out of clay. They're probably, each one holds but maybe about a half a pint of oil. And it has a little spout that runs off to the side, and that's where the flame comes. So unfortunately, you can't really change the intensity of the light, and it only burns candlelight. Like it is literally just the size of a candlelight. So a very small flame. It illuminates very dimly, like a standard candle would. It's just, it's got this. It's an oil lamp instead.
Okay, so these beds. Remind me. So, is there a bed frame, or is it just like a mattress, like a hay mattress?
It's just basically like a hay mattress. Yeah.
So I'm going to take some of the hay out of the mattress that I have and put that on the floor in the other room just for a bit of kindling.
Okay. Now, are you, because you're only given a key, a simple stone key for this room. Now, if you want access to the other one, you're probably going to have to rent that, unless you try to, I don't know if you have the ability to pick locks.
Is it a sleight of hand?
It would be a sleight of hand.
Let's see if I can.
Give yourself inspiration.
I should have, because that is only a 7. Shit.
You can give yourself inspiration after the fact.
Okay, I will. And what does that give me?
Standard
reroll?
inspiration is a advantage check, and I believe.
Yeah, I think it's a reroll because guidance is the D4.
Well, are you using bardic inspiration?
Yep.
Bardic inspiration allows you to add that D4 to your roll.
Okay, so let's try a D4. Oh. Yes. Oh, well, I got the full 4.
Hey.
So
So that's
What is
11
that?
now.
11.
It's a primitive stone lock. It might be enough.
Yeah, I'm going to say that this is because this is a very seedy inn. Not a lot of security here, so that's actually enough to pick that lock.
Okay. So I want to coat the place in oil, cover it in kindling. I would actually do this to the room that I have the key to. So
Okay.
after that person walks in, I can lock it behind them
Okay.
and then set the room on fire through the grate.
Okay. So you would just drop the oil lamp through the window into the. Okay.
Or,
Yeah, so what I would do
or a
is I would
handful
wait
of
to
burning
hear
hay
them
or
pass.
whatever.
Sorry?
Or a handful of burning hay, just because the lantern could
Yeah.
go out. I shouldn't be able to help you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking maybe
Help me
like
murder
a
this
piece
guy.
of straw,
Sorry.
something. But I would hide in the room with the door I picked and with the trap door above it. I would hide there. I would wait to hear whoever passed and go in, sneak out behind them, lock the door behind them, go back into the room that I picked, use the window to set the other room on fire.
Okay, so the idea. Okay, so just to keep this in mind, the room on the north side is the one that has the trap door in the ceiling.
Right.
So you're renting the room in the south, and you're picking the lock into the northern room.
Correct.
Okay. Which is also the room that has the window that looks out into the courtyard.
Yes.
Okay. It's also interesting to note that the higher up you go, like just kind of looking out the windows, the higher up you go, the more windows you see. So at the ground floor, there are no windows. At the second floor, there are a few windows. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windows. By the time you get to the top, there's like one more. They just packed them in more and more. This is common. Just real quick, just this is common because in Athos, because steel is so hard to come by, security is always an issue. So it's very rare that you ever see windows on ground floors. And the higher up you go, the more windows you see, because the more safe people feel that they can. And then once they get up to high, they'll put in as many windows as they possibly can, because you need that airflow to be able to move through and keep people from suffocating to death in the sweltering heat. Okay, so you set your trap in that northern room. You've scattered. You said you scattering the straw from the mattress in front of the door, and then you're
but
dousing
in the
it
lower
oil.
room.
In the
So
lower.
not that room that you're gesturing to, right? That room.
Okay, yeah, in the lower room, because the northern room has the trap door in the ceiling. Okay, so that's the one you're rented. So the idea is that you're picking the lock into the one where you're hiding, which is not the room you're renting. Okay,
Right.
I assume that's because if they come asking and if they tell them where you are, you want them to go to the one where you.
It's so I can lock the door behind them.
Gotcha. Okay.
Thanks,
So,
Geza.
yeah. Okay. So in that southern room, you've scattered straw in front of the door. You've doused it in the oil from one of the lamps, right? One of the lamps.
Well, yes, it would be one from one of the lamps, and probably what I could spare from the other one. And then the other,
Okay.
like the third lamp, is sitting lit in that room by the door,
Gotcha.
so it looks like that's where I am staying.
Okay. And
can leave the door ajar.
Well, and that's the thing too. The doors here, they're wood, but they're incredibly ancient, so they're like already worm eaten. You could probably, just push the door in if you really wanted to. But there's enough gaps in the slats of the wood and under the door that having that lantern lit actually does shine the light out through those gaps in the door into the hallway. Okay, so you're up there, and you start to wait. Now back to the others. Let's go back over to the other. All right, so you have adequately intimidated this young child into telling you where where Desi seems to have gone. You know that the young child has followed Desi evidently into the alleyway, but Pressure himself has gone back north up the caravan way. So what are you guys doing?
We should stay as a group until we can locate Desi. I would much rather find Pressure than the child.
Mm-hmm.
But if the child was sent after her, is the child the assassin as well?
No, I don't think so. I think the child is merely a scout, a way
Find
of
where she has
conveying
gone.
words. Yes, you would not send a child.
We
to
must
kill.
find the child. How do we find the child? Does that our technique of asking urchins doesn't seem to be the best method? Geza or Chahar, do you have a better idea? What would you do in the city? This is my first time.
I will look for the first, most obvious inn ahead. That was her plan, to find an inn. So hopefully it's the first one we see.
So we're charging down, looking for an inn.
All right, then.
Okay, give me investigation checks.
With
everybody.
advantage?
Yeah.
Because we know what we're looking for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Natural 20, but does that...
Natural
Yeah,
20.
just let go. Yeah, you got... Ma'ak wouldn't know an inn if you saw one. So
I rolled a natural
Yeah.
20 and a 19. Oh,
So, 25.
2 natural 20s.
25 or
Okay.
a nat 20, whichever rolls your boat.
As you enter into the alleyway, you can see inscribed on the wall, in the plaster, the mud plaster of the wall, there is a crude drawing of a bed, and then an arrow that points deeper into the alleyway. And following that, we'll actually switch back over to the other map. Let me zoom out here real quick. So you see that sign right up here near the entrance, which is actually the same location where Bap had told you that he would be leaving his calling card if he ever was able to find Katandeyo, interestingly enough. Heading down the alleyway, this alleyway is at most about 10 feet wide. And you can see there's doors all along the alleyway as it goes back. There are some very narrow alleyways that lead off to the south as you move through. There's an incredibly narrow, steep stairway that leads up to a small balcony as you make your first turn. And then there's another turn and another turn. As you go by, you're kind of moving quickly, also looking to see if any of these doors might indicate that they are an inn. So again, give me investigation checks.
Investigation.
Another natural 20, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah.
I rolled
rolled
a 19,
I rolled a 13.
but I made
And so 25 once again with my guidance on myself.
Okay, so as you round the third bend in this alleyway, well, actually, as you round the second bend in this alleyway, you see two archways standing in front of you, basically turning this alleyway into a dark, pitch black close. Hanging like on the central pillar between the two archways. Again, not hanging, but carved into the plaster is another of those signs that looks like a bed with an arrow pointing straight up. Which
do you point that out to Marc? Because he probably doesn't know what that thing is.
Yeah, of course. We're on the right track.
All right. Well, he's following you, actually. And actually probably watching behind to see if we're being followed. He might, since he's faster, he might actually double back every once in a while back to the bend just to see if one of those so-and-so kids is following us, and then he'll catch back up.
Odium Square has surprisingly clear signage.
Okay, back up to Desi. Give me an insight check, Desi.
How many times can I give myself bardic inspiration?
I think right now you are able to do it. I'm pretty sure you must have used up your bardic
I
inspiration.
think it's a 4 at level 3.
Because I know you gave it several times. Like we haven't done a long rest, and I know that you've given it out several times.
Oh,
So
that's true.
I think you've probably used it up at this point.
Okay.
Let's
So
just say that, like, to be safe, because I kind of feel like we're probably over it, but you know.
Oh, heck yeah, I'd use it. I'd pull that every single chance I could get. But I rolled a 17.
17. Okay. In your mind, you hear a voice come to you. And it says to you, Desi, we've finally been able to break through. Someone is putting up a psychic obstacle between you and us. Where are you?
Do I recognize that voice?
In the psychic space, things like voice kind of lose their meaning. You know, it's more like you understand the words coming through rather than being able to like actually hear them. You are perfect. You are absolutely convinced, though, that it's, or not actually, sorry. You have no reason to believe at this point that the voice you're hearing is not probably Ma'ak or one of the others who has Metaconcert reestablished with you.
Okay. So I'm going to say, I'm going to tell him exactly where I am, except I'm not going to tell him that I'm in the north room. I'm going to tell him to meet me in the south room.
Okay. Now, having said that, give me your reasoning behind, if you assume that you're talking to Ma'ak, why would you tell Ma'ak to go to the southern room?
Because if these are my friends, they'll pass me and I'll see them and I won't set them on fire. Because I'm not 100%. So if I tell Ma'ak to go to the south room and it is Ma'ak, all I have to do is not set the room on fire.
Okay.
If it isn't Ma'ak, I will set the room on fire.
Okay. All right. A little dubious, but okay. Okay, so let's put you up in the room where you're supposed to be. Blurg.
Did the voice come through a tiny door in her mind?
Right.
Inside your mind's eye. Okay, so you're up here. Okay. Inside your mind's eye, you would have seen that little tiny door unlock itself. At which point you would have heard the voice come through that aperture without actually seeing the source of it.
You're telling me I wouldn't actually recognize Ma'ak in my head?
Well, you're not seeing.
Based on your role. Based on your role.
Okay.
No.
But also, you're not seeing his form. You're hearing his voice through a aperture.
Yeah, and again, it's not his voice, it's just words inside your head. It's you understand these words coming through to you, which is typically the way this psychic, concert kind of functions. I mean,
to be
it's not exactly
clear,
the same right now. I mean, there is something a little bit off still, like the voice is like coming through still a barrier.
Okay. I was totally distracted when you were playing with the other team, so Emelie is not entirely sure whether or not it was really Ma'ak. So there is authenticity to what I chose to do.
Okay, good. Okay, let me turn the rest of you guys on. This is going to get kind of interesting because we've got two large characters. Okay, so right now, you guys, tell me what your marching order is. You're all back here. Now, granted,
I'm leading the way, reading the signposts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Ma'ak was in the rear. I had said that.
Okay.
Already, so that's fine.
I would
and then
probably be behind Geza, I imagine.
Okay.
Yeah, and
then
Char knows the streets, so he can be
okay.
up front too.
Yeah. So, and just an FYI, even though Ma'ak is considered a large creature, you're also very narrow.
He's a thin, large boy.
Yeah. So, it might, like you'll have to squeeze through these arches. The same thing with Kraukus. You're going to have to kind of squeeze your way through those arches. But you can. I mean, obviously, you're not more than 5 feet, wide, back to chest. So, okay, yeah. So you guys can head forward. Tell me how you're approaching this now.
Just looking for the signposts until we see the inn, walking at a brisk but normal-ish pace.
Yeah, we're not running.
Okay. Okay, so you guys can mosey your way up here. Okay.
You could say we're walking with purpose.
Yeah. So you are, I mean, you're basically, I would assume you're moving at half pace if you're checking
we're not running. We're not running.
Okay. Give me another investigation check.
8.
So that would be 15.
Okay. 15. Well, you definitely can. You catch a glimpse of an actual sign now hanging in the close itself. Now, you're inside the close, which means that the light has all but disappeared. Here and there are shafts, leading up to sky that make little pools of light here and there. So inside this whole space here, this whole area here now, it's dim light. So whether or not you have, I don't think any of you other than Char has dark vision or low light vision. Ma'ak has like his 5-foot sensory antennae vision. So, but yeah, you can see a sign hanging up just down here where it looks like there's an archway that leads off and opens up into a very narrow passageway. It's just barely 5 feet wide.
Okay.
Don't expose yourself. See if the child or Pressure Vey are in that alley before we step out.
Okay, back up to Desi. Before
I just want to, before we cut away, I'll just say, Char, you're probably best to lead at this point. I can't see as well.
Okay. Okay. So it's 6:30. Let's take our 10-minute mid-game break.
Yeah.
And we'll be back shortly.
Okay.
So we left off. The trap has been laid, and we're back with Desi, who is quietly lurking inside the room, 4 stories up, but on the 3rd floor of the Mole's Rest, and waiting. A voice has just come into her head that is pretending, at least, or perhaps, is Ma'ak. She thinks is Ma'ak, but there's still some lingering doubt. So Desi has directed whoever this is, who's asked where she's located, to the room where she has laid the trap. And let's keep going forward. So, let me roll a quick little roll. Desi, give me let's see, this is going to be a perception check. And let's see.
12.
Is it for
is
us? Because if
odd.
it's for us, it maybe should be at advantage.
No, it's not for you. This is an interesting one.
Because I would smell Kraukus coming, but
Oh, hey, oh, what? Listen.
What do we do in the case of ties? I can't remember off the top of my head.
arm wrestle.
Ties go to the favor of the PC. No. That's like historically in the game. That's how it works. If it's like
I think
a 15 difficulty and a 15 difficulty, it's the
target number you're trying to hit, right?
it's the target number.
no. This is an opposed
trying to-
roll, so there's no target number.
If
I
it's an
always
opposed
say
roll, then
ties
it
go to
goes
a
in the
defender.
PC. Oh.
But that's how I roll. Ties go to
I
a
kind
defender.
of feel like the tie should go to the person with the higher ability score or skill of the skills being used.
That's fair.
That's fair. It's kind of like initiative.
so yeah. So what is your bonus on perception?
+5.
+5.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. It's +4.
+4. Okay. Okay. The room to the south, did you leave that locked or unlocked?
That is unlocked.
Unlocked, okay. Let me think about this for a second. Okay. You must have lost concentration for just a moment. You've been sitting here, bated breath, for God knows how long now, counting the moments. Give me another perception check.
Oh, God damn. I rolled a 7.
Okay.
What does that even mean in this context?
It means my best laid plans that I've ever had shall go to waste.
I just mean like
Okay.
practically with your vision, because you have night vision and all that shit.
Well, it means that you've been looking through the cracks in the door and you probably just were maybe not like you heard a noise outside a window or something diverted your attention in a moment and you weren't looking out the door at the right moment. And
That is narratively hard to tell of how did I miss
Yeah.
the one thing I'm staking my life on.
it was a very close difference. So it had to have been something fast and subtle. However, you do notice now that someone is walking. When you look back through the gap in the door, someone is actually walking away from the direction of the room you laid the trap. And they're huffing and puffing, and it looks like someone the size of a child, heading back towards the stairs that lead down. Well, hold on a second. No, let me pause that for just a second. They actually, as they start to walk past, they suddenly pause. And you can see this child stop, kind of grumble something under their breath, step back, and start to look at the door where you're just behind. And they press their ear up against it. Give me a stealth check. Actually, I shouldn't be rolling physical dice here. We're gonna go.
15. I have not been rolling for shit this evening.
Well, no, but remember these are opposed rolls that right now that are happening. So, you go. What's your response as this little child starts to press their ear up against the door that you're just on the other side of?
Does the door open inwards or outwards?
Inwards, towards you.
Then I want to stealthily as I can get on the back side of the door. Does that make sense? So like if the door opens,
It would close in around you.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Pausing. Back to the group. Marc, inside your meta concert, you hear that child. And the child is saying, is talking to someone else, probably another street urchin.
Mm-hmm.
Describing the encounter had with the terrifying bug man and half giant. Now with meta concert, you can only hear what he is specifically saying and what he's thinking in response.
No, actually, in all fairness, I didn't do that. With meta concert, technically, unless the child chose to share something with the group, we wouldn't hear it. I've left the line open in case I wanted to contact him. Now, that being said, Marc's a pretty good telepath. He may still be able to tell, like, the kid is, either thinking about him or maybe inadvertently sharing memories because he doesn't know meta concert is even going on. You know what I mean?
How would you have explained this to him before he ran off?
What do you mean?
like, hey, if you have a message, like if you learn something, let me know. I'm inside your head. Like,
yeah, no, I did.
You doing?
I did. I mean, I don't know if I probably spent too much time explaining it, but in theory, if the child wants to purposefully share with me, it can. That's fine. If it's not trying to, then that's technically like an ability that I should have used. It would have expired by now anyway. Then that's the read thoughts thing. That's where I can read the surface thoughts where it means to or not.
Okay.
So that technically I wasn't doing. I'm low on PSP. That's why I didn't spare it. So.
Okay. All right. Well then. Okay. Well then we'll go back up a little bit. You don't hear any of those thoughts.
Okay.
Of him, since it's really not a real connection that you made. So
I mean, he's connected, but it's a will thing. Like you have to willfully choose to share. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like
okay.
invasion,
Let me here.
I'm
gonna give him an insight check to see if he even has the faintest idea of what you were going on about.
Right.
If
he may be accidentally sharing stuff, or that could be something that a tech chakak is good at, is like picking up on the static, as opposed to being active communication. I don't know. You interpret it however you want.
All right. Well, you know what? He rolled pretty good. So what I'm going to say is like he kind of catches on and maybe already has some experience with, this kind of particular psionic ability. And you do get a little message. You'd be like, "Hey, mister.
Yes.
Hey, mister, you still there?
I am here.
One of my buddies said that he saw you, Dracoman, heading back into the alley north of Odium Square, heading back in that same direction as the way that the lady you're looking for went."
Well done. Excellent work. How long ago was the Dracoman spotted?
I was just a little bit ago. It's gonna. If he heads back there, there's all kinds of alleyways that lead back in there. I'm pretty sure there was one that leads into the backside of the Mole's Rest. I know these streets pretty well. He might be trying to come from the other side.
Picture it in your mind, and I will know the place.
So, okay. So if you want to turn your attention to the map.
So high tech.
Yeah. So high tech. Okay.
Psychic heads up display.
So there's a back alleyway that he kind of reveals to you that leads on the north side, and then it has an alleyway that leads down to a courtyard, and then another one that leads into the actual courtyard that abuts to the north side of the Mole's Rest.
Excellent. Well done. You will be rewarded when I see you in person.
Just go to Frothy Jill. Leave your coin with her. She'll make sure I get it.
As you say. And then I will turn to the group and I will share everything I just learned.
Okay.
Was that Frothy Jill?
Frothy.
Frothy Jill? That's a character we get to meet?
Frothy Jill.
I'm pretty sure I heard you correctly. Okay. Didn't get a rabies shot.
Okay.
Frothy Jill. Holy shit. Yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, that's the fucking best. Oh, man. I feel like I need a cigarette after that laugh about Frothy Jill.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
Well, are we in a completely covered space?
Yeah, you're in the closed.
Are there like torches or lamps or something like lining the streets? How is anybody else seeing?
Well, like I said, there are some areas where there are kind of shafts that open up to the sky here and there that allow for kind of pools of light to create an overall dim light situation through this particular close.
Okay. But down that narrow path is less lit.
It looks to be pitch black down that path that leads off towards what you believe is where the mold rest is.
Well, if we're going to be traveling down a dark path, we either need a light spell or a torch. Thoughts?
Can Char
I
help
don't
us?
think I can see in the dark.
Yeah, I cannot.
Nor can I.
Can I ignite the flame in my razor gauntlets?
Your
Use
razor.
those as lights, and that way, if the
Awesome.
light gives us away, I can kill someone with the light as well.
Double duty.
Yeah, I mean you can use your one of your Exarch abilities to light a torch. For
Cool.
sure.
Well, I don't mean light a torch. I mean keep the ones on my wrists lit
Yeah.
as we're walking through.
Oh yeah, light
Ignite
up
the
your
wrist
wrist razor.
razors.
Sorry, light up your wrist razor.
Is that a first level?
Now,
conjuring?
granted, keep in mind that only stays lit for a single round. So you'll get
that's
basically
6
a 6 second. Yeah, you'll get a 6 second burst
No.
on that. Because technically, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to light it and then make your attack.
Well,
with
I mean, I'm carrying a torch and a tinderbox, so
All
I
right,
guess
I'll
we could
light.
just
Then
do
I'll
that.
light my wrists up, and we can light the torches off those flames.
Save your spell for punching. I'll light a torch as we beat feet into the alley.
And
Okay,
if we
so you
ever, if we encounter something awful in this, we can have Kraukus bend over and expel gas and light it on fire.
Yeah, onto the torch.
What
Full of
makes
torch.
you assume I have gas?
Don't you still have dysentery
You do.
from 9 rounds ago?
Oh, then yes. I can fart upon your fire, if necessity calls it.
Sometimes the old ways are the best.
The old
Now-
ways of farting on fire, like jackass.
Now here's the problem you immediately realize. This alleyway is pretty narrow. Now Kraukus and Ma'ak, you could squeeze your way through here. But you know that you can't, once you get in there, Ma'ak, you're not gonna be able to turn around. You're gonna have to
Yeah, you
back.
can't rotate.
Okay.
Do we have that magic pouch that Bap had? Or does he have it back?
No, he's
Because
a
if we had-
traveler's pouch.
Would it be possible if we had it that they could step inside?
That would be
Yes,
amazing.
but no, because Kraukus wouldn't know.
It's not a bag of holding. So,
But even
if
so,
it was a bag of holding,
you have to
it would
fit
be
through the
able-
aperture.
and you would suffocate because there's no air in there.
Yeah.
Just asking.
So, and then once you get into the actual tavern itself, I mean, all bets are off. So, of course, you don't know what you're in for at this point. But up to you whether the two of you want to follow suit into this incredibly cramped claustrophobic space.
Well, Ma'ak, I can't imagine you won't be going in, but it could be wise for Kraukus to guard the entrance.
Are you asking me to guard the entrance?
If the cramped situation is, made better.
I can guard the entrance.
All right, we'll
Okay.
remain in meta concert.
Are you gonna? So you're gonna
and-
stay out here too, Mock?
No, Ma'aka is not going to stay out. So he is, at this point, probably using his bonus actions to try to find Desi again to see if he can reestablish concert. But in theory, what he would do, given this information that the urchin just shared, he would go, if he could get there, to the room in the northeast corner of that. There's like 3 bedrooms, and then there's the 4th room that connects to the alley. he would actually set his ambush there if he could, or in one of the bedrooms.
So pass through the tavern to the back.
That's if the Drachman is coming, then he can hide and attack him from the rear. That's his plan. That's what the Kreen would do.
Wait,
and in the meantime,
what room are you talking about?
He's saying
that one
we would want to
you're
pass through the inn to the back.
So that is, keep in mind, that is a courtyard on the north side. There's no actual access into. You can't get into the inn from that courtyard.
Oh, you can't?
No, those are windows. See that? Those are windows.
Okay. All right.
Look out into the courtyard, and keep in mind too, you're going up a floor to get into the inn. So these are second story windows that look out.
Oh, so his plan is to go to the courtyard and then scale the wall. Okay.
Perhaps.
Then, Char, Geza, you can go inside. Kraukus, back them up as best you can. I'm going to spend some of my remaining side points. I don't have many left, but I will spend 5 and begin to float off the ground.
Wait, but we're in the covered area.
I know, but I can go to the roof and cut over.
Yeah, through a shaft. You could do.
Oh, there's shafts?
Yeah, there's little
Did we
shafts.
just exit the close, right? So
no, you entered into.
I thought you said there were arches on the edge. Well, whatever. If you say I can get
into the close, yeah, there are shafts. Like I said, there are shafts that lead to the sky that allow for some light to filter in. That's why the close itself is dim light.
Does Ma'ak think he will fit, or could he get stuck?
They're wide enough. You could fit.
All right, then that is what he will do, and then leave the others to actually getting in that closed space.
Okay, and so how much can you move per round?
Well, he can jump and then activate it. So in theory, he can jump 20 feet up, and then levitation is, I think, 20 feet around. Or in theory, since I'm weightless, I can just use my movement rate and climb, right? I don't know how you really want to rule it, or what it would take to actually get into the clothes, whether I actually have to like aim and jump, or whether I just got to stand under it and levitate.
It would take, so you could basically, because you could jump 20 and then you get another 20 feet, right? So that's 40 feet. So that'll basically get you right to almost the roof. So you'll be at the roof next round.
Okay.
And from there, you can use your regular movement, and it won't take long to get to the other side.
And if need be, I can drop down on the other side. So
yeah. Okay.
Awesome.
All right. So you start to go up, and on the inside, you guys enter into the inn, and you're greeted. It's a very small chamber that you walk into, incredibly dimly lit by a single small oil lamp with a candle, and you can see there's sort of like a little enclosed stall in front of you. That has just a wood barred window that you can look through, where there's a innkeeper sitting. And as you come in, the innkeeper, who's kind of like nodding off, who's there?
Oh, pardon us. We don't want to trouble you too much. We're meeting our friend here, a very tall woman, just booked a room, but we don't want to bother you. We just weren't sure which room she was in.
Okay.
And I will put a ceramic on or a bit on the counter and slide it over to him for your trouble.
A bit?
I don't know what standard money giving is.
What's the standard bribe?
Yeah.
One
thing that's not
What's Desi's
insulting.
life worth to this guy?
Yeah.
I'll put a whole ceramic. I don't care.
Well, no, it's fine. I just wanted to clarify that it was a bit, and not a piece.
Because a piece sounds like too much, right? That's like crazy money.
A piece is a good amount of money, depending on what you're looking for.
Well,
a piece is a silver, right?
No, you have ceramic bits. You have a ceramic piece.
Yeah.
A ceramic piece can be divided into 10 slices called bits. And
Okay.
then there's
Sure.
above a ceramic is a silver, and then a gold.
Right.
That's what I was trying to
Right.
differentiate.
No.
Like,
In
Yeah.
D&D terms,
D&D
your
silver.
copper, silver, gold, platinum. In
Yeah.
Athos, the equivalent is copper or ceramic bit, whole
Piece.
ceramic piece, the
Yeah.
silver piece, gold piece. Right?
So I want to
Those
give
four.
him a D&D silver, not a
right.
Athos silver.
ceramic piece. A
Piece.
full 10
So
piece.
ceramic piece.
Yes.
Full ceramic piece. He looks at the ceramic piece. He looks at the two of you. He says, "Now you're not going to cause any trouble, are you?"
I certainly have no plans to.
He says, "Okay. She's on the 3rd floor, 2nd room."
Thank you, sir. We'll be out of your hair as quickly as possible.
He takes it, and as he does so, he says, "Now, I never saw you come through, right? And you never talked to me, right?"
You got that right.
And then he goes, "All right." And he puts his head back down, closes his eyes, and starts like immediately snoring again. And then off you can go. Let's go back to the map.
And
Off you can go and start heading up this incredibly narrow stairway.
in meta concert, I will share with Ma'ak where she is.
Excellent. And he will start to head in that direction.
All right, so back to Desi. You're just on the other side of the door holding your breath as this child is pressing their ear against the door just on the other side. What were you going to do in response? Are you muted?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Do I know anything about this? Do I recognize this child? Is there any information I can get through the slats?
Give me a perception check. And I'll give you advantage because they're so close.
Whoa, I rolled double 18s, so that's 22.
Oh, wow.
Woo!
Well, it's not a child. It is actually a female halfling who now you can, like, now that they're so close, you can start to detect the age, in the like these like very fine lines around her eye, which is kind of pressed up near like kind of a wide crack, just on the other side. And not sure what that really does for you, but definitely you realize.
Well, that does something that is very important information for me to know, because I'm going to do something fucking awful.
Hell yeah. Grip it and rip
I'm
it,
going
baby.
to put my hand up where her ear is and send my wrist razor through the door.
Okay. Oh, well, hold on a second. Wait a second. Remember, the wrist razor is not a retractable thing. It is a bracer that's worn around the forearm, which has sharp obsidian points on it in basically 2x2, 3 rows.
Oh, they don't post.
Which you use
point
to.
pass.
Yeah,
But
and
Desi
you
has a
use the
bone
wrist
knife.
razor.
I mean, she's
Nothing.
looking to stab through the door into
Yeah,
a
so
person's
you're-
ear.
Who cares?
That's what she's doing.
So a
Well, what
knife
I'm saying is that the
They're
shards
not like Wolverine claws that can go
they're not
shing.
Wolverine claws. They're obsidian blades that are about the size of an arrowhead. So you would need to use like an actual dagger to push through one of the cracks, not the wrist razor.
So, do I have a dagger, or could I use one of my arrows?
You do have an arrow that you could use.
I'll
And
use an arrow.
there's a gap large enough that you could do that. So, okay.
That's the plan.
Okay, I'm going to give you advantage on this attack.
That's.
And what am I going to do? Is it going to be the...
Just roll for your wrist razor. It's the same.
Or the short.
Yeah. Just use the roll for your wrist raising.
Okay. Oof. Oh, bugger. I rolled an 11 as my best.
Was your best?
Yeah.
Okay, give me just a second here. Oh man.
Well, the door's AC is really low.
Well, that's the door is the problem. You go to you line the arrowhead up just right where you think the largest gap and the best possibility is, and then you go to shove it through. But it scratches and it gets caught and it makes a shit ton of noise. And as you're pushing it through, it just doesn't come through fast enough for the halfling on the other side to catch wind, and they lurch back and yell, and
bullshit.
And at this point, shit, what did he say? Well,
I'm gonna stop having great ideas.
You hear
that idea kicks so much ass.
Yeah, it was a great idea.
I'm done watching my good ideas collapse. I'm just gonna do stupid shit from now on. No more planning.
It was a great idea.
Just go to the Kraukus School of D&D.
Yeah,
that's what I think I'm gonna do.
and you from the other side, you hear her say, "Ah, there you are, lassie," and she grabs towards the handle and starts to yank on it.
Can I knock the door down on her? If these doors are crap, what am I actually clobbering her with the fucking door?
Yeah, you could potentially burst through. You'd have to give me a strength check, but it will have to wait for your next turn.
Sure.
And she is on the outside trying to bash her way in. Or actually, she's not bash her way in. She's starting to fiddle with the lock, and you can hear her. She must be using thieves' tools because you start to hear the scraping in the actual lock of something. And let me actually go ahead and give her that sleight of hand check. Oh, but she can't get the door open. Oh wait, no. These are easy locks to pick. She does get the door open. At which point she starts to push the door. Can I have a
bow and arrow prepared? No, because I'm going to let her in with a bow and arrow knocked and aimed.
That's fine. We'll get to that next turn. And actually, I think this is probably a good time now for everybody to roll initiatives.
Big 10.
What am I rolling? Initiative?
Initiative.
Okay.
I need to go home.
Gentle 20. Gentle 20.
Yeah, Ma'ak rolls a 10. Well, he's climbing the roof. Explains why he's not turning on the spot.
And I'm just a calm inn patron.
Yeah, I just need Ma'ak and Sha'ar.
Ma'ak was 10.
Ma'ak was 10. Why didn't it?
Did
you actually roll the initiative button, Rob, or did you hit dexterity?
I see it right on my screen.
I got a 15.
Okay, we'll have to.
Well, that's good because I was gonna say Char after you.
Okay, so and the halfling has completed hers, trying to push the door in. That is actually okay. So unlocking the door was her action, and we're now at Kraukus. You are only at this point kind of you're just standing guard at this point. So until somebody says something,
I'll hold my action.
Okay. Which brings us to Cha'ar. Let's zoom in on this map a bit more.
Do we hear anything as we're coming up the stairs?
Give me, I guess, for Kraukus and Char, give me perception checks.
Well, Char is We're both going up the stairs, but Char's in front of me.
9.
No, this is just for Char and Geza.
Geza.
Oh.
Okay.
You said Kraukus, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I rolled a 24 for perception.
Okay. And Char?
Uh, 19.
Oh, okay. So actually, both of you can hear someone kind of exclaim from up the stairs, coming down. You just the faintest audible yelp, exclamation.
Happy yelp, scared yelp, painful yelp.
Sort of like
yelp.
a shocked, kind of a surprised yelp. This is basically the moment that this hobbit was reacting to the arrow trying
through
to come
the door.
through the door. Yeah.
It sounds like our party's just ahead.
Yeah, and actually we should put Char in front because Char has got the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
So what's Char doing now that you've heard this?
Well, we're just listening outside the door, right?
No. We're on the first floor, climbing up the stairs to the third floor where we heard the yelp above.
So we're outside the door to that where the yelp is on the third floor.
Well, you're on the first floor of the inn. There's 2 floors above you. Somewhere overhead, above you, you're heading up this very narrow stairwell. You can hear the sound, the echo of that yelp coming down towards you. So somewhere above you, someone has yelped out in exclamation.
Let's continue going up the stairs and investigate.
Cautiously, quickly, running, sneaking.
Cautiously and sneakily, I guess.
Okay. So we're going to go half speed. So that for you, your movement is 25. So that's going to be like 10, 5. Yeah. So basically half movement will give you those 15. And really, this hall is so narrow, Geza can't do anything. Can't move past.
No.
Char. Okay.
And I wouldn't. He's got the better vision.
Okay. So, it's now Desi's turn. And let's do this. So what is Desi doing? You can feel the halfling on the other side trying to push the door open.
Oh, as soon as I figure out she's trying to pick the lock, I'm going to stand at the center of the door and aim the arrow.
You're going to step back, or are you going to stay right where are you going to go?
As soon as I heard her trying to open the door, I will be away from the door.
So all the way back, where in the room do you want it to be?
Yeah, probably all the way to the back wall, but a center shot on her.
So like here?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. You are holding your action, ready to fire. It's now Geza's turn. Of course, Geza can't do much because you can't push your way past Char.
But I will put my hand on Char and say, "Let your wrist razors be guided."
Oh, nice. Okay. Marc, you can use the rest of your turn this time to get up to the roof.
Okay.
And we'll just place you right there.
All right. Do I see Pressure or what's
Pressure Vey?
Pressure Vey.
No, and it's it's not even flat roofs. I mean, everything is still kind of like different tiers. It's this like cobbled together tapestry of buildings. So none of the roofs are completely level with each other.
Sure,
but you can see ahead of you to like the opening where the shaft of that courtyard is. So you can see the edge up ahead. You know that you could probably get to the edge of that rim next turn.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'll use my leap ability, which lets me jump 50 feet, and I'll continue the rest with my basic 40 movement. So I can make good pace probably across it, and it's not unlike Rocky Badlands, I imagine.
Well, that'll be next turn.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And then I will, with my bonus action, again, just quote unquote look for Desi. Desi, are you there? Are you there? See if I can pierce that static or whatever it is that's cut her off.
Okay, let me see. Okay, now they're able to maintain. So still there's some barrier keeping you separated from Desi. So then we back around to the front. Boom, and then so that happens, and then the door suddenly bursts open, and you see the diminutive halfling female begin to rush into the room. Give me your attack. Desi Dorata.
I don't get. Oh, God damn! I'm going home.
Oh man.
I don't get any
hold on.
surprise.
Yeah, right? Or
I will give you advantage on that because you were ready, close quarters.
Aimed shot.
Have the drop.
mm-hmm.
So you go ahead and give me another roll with it on that advantage.
It's like it's up, just almost as shitty.
Oh no.
Okay, yeah. As the door crashes open, it actually, because the door itself has decayed slats, and this little halfling has slammed the door open as fast, as hard as she can. A bit of the door separates, crashes over, and as you let your arrow loose, it actually hits that board, which just falls in front of the halfling, and stops the arrow from connecting with it. She dashes underneath the splintering door, the doorway, and lurches towards you, slashing out with an obsidian short sword that she pulls out. Don't think that's gonna hit. No. And let me just make sure that there are fighting. Okay. That misses, but in her other hand is a bone dagger, which she also swipes out at you. Also a miss. She yells out. She's as she swipes at you with both. She says, "We're supposed to take you prisoner, but I guess dead is just the same." And from there, it is now Kraukus's turn. But I assume you're still holding your action.
Yes, I was told to guard, so I guard.
Well,
Char, you can now clearly hear the sound of combat up ahead. There's a loud, massive crash. The sound of splintering wood, and you hear someone's voice, like a diminutive voice, yell out something that you can't quite make out.
So I don't know if we should go in because we're now right outside where this is coming from, right?
No, we're still one floor.
It's
down.
another flight up. You can hear it. It's coming ahead of you, up around the hallway in front of you. Turns to the right, and that's the direction that sound's coming from.
I don't think we need to be
What do you
quiet
think
at
we
all.
should do?
Let's rush in.
Okay.
Desi needs our help.
Okay. So what do you do?
Guess we break through the
Rush
door. We
in.
go upstairs and rush in.
Okay, so using your standard move, you can go 5, 10, 15, 20. 25. Gets you just to the top of the stairwell to the third floor of the inn. You can see just ahead of you, there is an open doorway. Light from, like a dim light is streaming in from there. And you can see the door at this point is kind of hanging off of its hinges. And you can hear the sound of clattering battle coming from inside. Unless you, however, use the dash movement, you can't move any further.
And if you do dash, then you can't do an action.
Yeah.
Lest ye have a useful bonus action, which I do not.
So, Geza, what do you think we should do?
I mean, that's all we can do.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just
Okay.
rush.
Get in there.
We rush up, and that's that.
Are you going to dash or are you going to stay where you are?
I think we're better off not announcing our presence until we can do something.
Okay. Desi, it's your turn.
I will try to get her with the wrist razor, but I won't hold my breath. Nope.
Yeah.
I like to.
Yeah,
think
you
that this
swipe
is-
out. She's so nimble. She ducks right underneath your wrist razor. It's now Gez's turn.
Yeah, I'm just right
Bless
behind
you.
Char.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're right there, just behind. And then that will bring us to Ma'ak.
All right. Am I at the edge of the courtyard yet?
So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So you can get right there with your leap.
Uh-huh. I'll take the dash then, and I'll basically yeah, no, I will. I want to get to the edge of it.
Okay. So you rush to the edge where you can see down.
Up,
and
down,
as you
around, I'm looking for that guy.
Okay. As you look down, you can see one just below you, just the floor below you. As you look over, you can see the ruddy red leg of someone just disappear into the window.
Hello?
Directly underneath you. Someone in red garments has just passed through the window. You barely missed him. And just to your right on the ground, there is a trapdoor leading into the room just below you where that individual went.
Okay. I saw that individual. So I am now, with my bonus action, activating Blind Spot, which is free for me if it's just one person, this person. And I will finish my dash action in the square directly behind them with my weapons poised.
So the square.
I'll follow them
directly-
down the trapdoor.
Oh, no. Okay.
I have 40 move left. Easy.
Nobody. The trapdoor is closed. Okay.
Right, he wants to follow him down into the window.
So you want to go over the edge?
Yeah.
And down through the
I'm
window?
levitating. I can go right down.
Because what I was on the roof, just next to where you're standing, there is a trapdoor leading into the room.
Right,
You
but
understand what
I
I'm saying?
can, but I can lower myself through levitation right to that landing.
Oh, because you still
and
have
I'm
it.
blind
You still have it.
spotted when I do it, so that person won't see me.
Yeah, if he opens
Okay.
the
See what I'm
trapdoor,
saying?
he gives away his position.
Right.
Okay, so you step off, and you are now floating in midair just outside
Yeah,
this
exactly.
window.
Exactly. With my Githka, my two Chachkachas, and invisible to that second assassin, whoever that is.
And as you look through, you can see it is that Drachamon who has just jumped into the room. And
Next to Desi?
which is right next to Desi. And Desi, you look to your left now, and you can see it's Pressure, who's just jumped through the window. Pulls out a long obsidian sword in one hand, and has hold on just a second. Jump over to Pressures, and a wrist razor on the other arm. lurches towards you. As you do so, Pressure glances over to the halfling and says, "You botched this! Damn you! We're supposed to take her alive!" And he swipes out at you. The first one is a miss, and the wrist razor. Let's see, what's your AC?
14.
14. Second one hits. Doing 6 points of damage. As you feel the razor edge of the obsidian shards tear through your clothes, armor, and your flesh. Hot blood starts to pour down your side. It's now the halfling's turn, and let's see. What does the halfling want to do? This. It's just going to be a straight attack. So that obsidian short sword lashes out at you. You press yourself up against the wall, just avoiding the tip of the black glass blade. The bone dagger comes next. This one is a hit. And that one does 4 points of damage. As the near blunted tip, the thick bone tip of this dagger pushes its way through your clothing, armor, and your flesh.
That's me
you
again?
Yell out in pain. That's you again. You're getting teamed up by both of these. Kraukus is out front, I assume, humming a tune. And
yes.
probably accosting passerbys.
What are you here for? Checks out. Move along.
Sorry, Kraukus. Char, you can hear Desi scream out from inside the room.
Oh, you're muted.
Can I rush in?
Yeah. You just basically one step forward, and you come in, and you're right behind like a halfling who's still pulling a bone dagger out of Desi, who is pressed up against the wall. You can see two open cuts and blood pouring down from both of them.
I'll say,
There's
just
another
set the room on
individual.
fire, Char. I don't give a shit. Just set them all on fucking fire.
Yes.
I mean, careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
I know what I'm asking
Don't
for.
do it.
I know exactly what I'm asking for.
Can I do a similar thing to what I did to Bap and manifest that fireball and then the halfling's face?
Yeah, I mean, you can put it right wherever you want to. So did that fireball also cause people within 5 feet to have to save against it?
It's flaming sphere. I think it does have an area of effect. I'm not, or like a air, or no, it has to touch you, doesn't it? Hold on.
I think it also affected people within 5 feet.
I'll look it up.
I can also pull up Char's character sheet real quick. Or not.
Flaming sphere, 5 foot diameter sphere, appears in an unoccupied space of your choice. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet must make a dexterity save. They take 2d6 fire on a failed save, or half on a successful. So yeah,
So
everyone in that room would be damaged.
Can I?
Well, hold on a sec. Before you go, we did flub that last time then, because you have to put it into an unoccupied space. So just retcon. We'll just say that
I did put it in an unoccupied space. I put it in front of his face.
Yeah, or above their head, right? And
above their head.
Them, that
it would have to either be in the space directly in front of them, the space directly above them, space directly to the side. You know, like in terms of like the battle map, it would have to be in the 5 foot space in front of the character or to the side of the character where they are not standing. Does that make sense?
Right. There's only one square in this room where it could be manifest, and it would be between the P and the J, like in that corner.
Right.
Yeah, but it would still cause Desi to have to save against it. It would basically cause all of you to have to save against it, as long as you ended your turn still where you currently are.
Yep.
Also,
So that might be a dangerous proposition, but I'm not going to stop you.
Well,
Yeah,
what if I manifested on the side of his head?
no,
right
it's a
here?
5-foot diameter.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
like
a
huge
giant
ball
fireball.
it's almost like a giant flaming kickball that just bounces
So
around.
the
How the hell did Bap survive that if it went off in his face last time?
well, like I just said, I flubbed that. I screwed that up. Technically, it should have been in the space directly in front of him, which is fine because it still would have caused the same damage. So we can just basically say, for purposes of, the rules, when you cast that spell against him, you put it directly in front of him, basically in the space directly in front of Bap. So it would have still erupted, and Bap still would have been injured by it because there wasn't really any place.
Yeah,
for him
I mean, it's semantics. You still could have done it.
Semantics,
I mean, And in this case, you can do the flaming wrist razor thing and punch him with that and do fire damage to this halfling.
Yeah,
if
you
want.
could. Yeah,
Or-
you
or
could
punch
bonus
Jimmy,
action
yeah.
fire. Yeah,
What
you could
about-
bonus action fire your wrist razor up and then slice him with the wrist razor and do that extra fire damage.
What about firebolt? Can I shoot him in the back with a firebolt?
Oh,
Yes,
yep,
you can.
you can do that.
Let's do that. Let's do
is-
that.
cool.
I'm done fucking around. I want to be done with this
Okay.
fucking thing.
Okay, cool. All right, so give me that.
So you don't have to
attack.
go in the room then. You can just stand in the doorway and
Yeah.
Yeah, so give me that
Cool.
attack.
What am I rolling?
You just hit the +4 where next to firebolt.
Oh,
under
okay.
actions. Yeah.
I have two. I have firebolt cleric, cantrip cleric, and then cantrip bonus cantrip. Which one
You either one. You basically, it just means that you get to cast it twice.
oh, that's cool. You should
And I-
always be doing that.
And
It's
I
a bonus.
take-
It's a bonus. Well, it's a bonus. It's not that you can cast it twice in one round. It's a bonus cantrip. It's an extra added spell he gets.
Never mind. That's cool.
12,
12.
and then I get to roll again, right? I get a bonus one.
No, you don't get a bonus one.
No, I had that
You-
wrong. Sorry.
It's an extra spell you have to
Oh.
cast. Not. Unfortunately, however, man, God, you know what? I'm going to give you advantage on this because you're coming up from behind. So go ahead and roll that again.
Flanking with Desi too, by the way.
Yeah, flanking. Yeah, there's a whole all kinds of shit here. This is a
Well,
pro.
but
again.
also,
Oh my God!
wait, but also, you have guidance to hit. I gave you guidance to roll a d4 and add it.
Oh yeah, go ahead and roll that to the first one. Yeah.
Where do I go to get? Where do I find the D4
Bottom
roll?
left corner where the d20 is, you click
Uh-huh.
it, and then you click on the d4, which is the pyramid, and then
Oh, okay.
Come on, because you rolled 2 12s.
It's not.
need a
letting-
you push it once, and then you push to everyone roll. You push it again.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll roll you a d4. Nope, that's a d8. You want to roll the pyramid. The
okay,
first,
so
the first dice on the
The
bottom.
very bottom one.
And when you hover over, they tell you which one is which. So 13?
A 13? Man. Oh, you guys are rolling so bad tonight. No, unfortunately, the firebolt, it goes wide and it clatters. It explodes off the wall between Desi and Pressure. Now, having said that, it is now Desi's turn.
We haven't damaged either of them, have we?
Not yet.
I would just say to Pressure, I thought we were going to talk this out because there's some shit you need to know. It's a real shame it's come to this. And I'm going to try to kill him.
You're going to have to Pressure.
Yeah.
Not the halfling.
Well, neither
Okay.
of them are damaged, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so I'll go after Pressure.
Okay, so give me your attack against Pressure. Of course, he doesn't have an opportunity to respond to your to what you just said yet.
A mighty
It's gonna
9.
matter too much.
I just
Oh
think
my
everybody,
God.
like, it's all really good combat. You're all, like, masters of, like, dodging. And
Yeah, I mean, Pressure, you swipe out to the side. I mean, after this firebolt erupts between the two of you, sparks of fire erupt in your eyes, and you wildly swipe out with your wrist razors, and pressure pushes back against the wall or back against the window just behind him where Marc is getting ready to come through. But it is Geza's turn now. Now, and you could theoretically push past Char and into this unoccupied space right here. If you chose to.
It looks very crowded in there. You, sir, take a seat.
And I hold person at pressure bay.
Okay, so you'll need to get over here in this corner to be able to get a line of sight.
I just have
to get your line of sight.
Sure.
And what is the save on that?
It is a wisdom saving throw.
And what do I have to make?
15 is the save.
Wow.
He says, I think not. Or rather, he goes, I think not. And it seems as though your spell is ineffective. Man.
Well,
okay.
It was my turn.
And Marc,
okay,
you're now.
Wait, whoa. Before you change, Ma'ak will use his bad karma bead. That guy has disadvantage on that saving throw. Roll it again.
Oh, okay. Back up.
Bad karma bead. I don't remember how these work.
That's it's like advantage, but I can only spend it to give somebody disadvantage. I can't spend it for an advantage on myself. If I got a good karma bead, you can only spend it on you or your friends to give them advantage. It's like and now it will actually go back in the bag because I spent bad karma, so it's going to come
now
back
your likelihood of
us,
drawing another bad karma bead is gone up because it goes back in.
But drawing a bad karma bead is a good thing because you can use it for this.
It's
still
a good way to
good.
use it. Yeah. Or if I waited and next time I chose a karma bead again and I got a good one, then that one would actually get removed from circulation. It wouldn't get spent. Right? Like I sat on it instead, but I'm spending it on this guy, so he'll fail this roll. So
and as a result, he instead of him going, I think, he goes, I think, and then he just pauses. He just stops.
Yes.
Still.
Just think a minute. Think about your actions.
And you can see his eyes are paused in this look of shock and terror now.
Now, again, for a reminder, we can do damage to him if we so choose, and he is frozen for up to 1 minute.
You will get advantage, but it will also give him, if you attack him, it'll give him, I think it gives him another, I'll have to look it up, but I think it gives him a chance.
I'll tell you, at the end of each of his turns, he can make another saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
And whether or not you hit him or not, does not matter. It does not give him advantage.
Just at the end of every turn, every 6 seconds he gets another chance to break free.
Yeah. Okay. You just can't do the classic second edition coup de grace when someone is held in 5e. Okay, so it's
I don't even
Marc's
know
turn.
What that means.
Okay. Well, Ma'ak will very carefully place his 4 arms around this held person, bend his legs, and begin to jump up into the air above the courtyard, basically levitating with him. Even if he makes his save, he's going to want to hold on to me.
Okay. How high?
I will drop him to his death. I have no problem doing that.
How high do you go?
As far as my leg kick will take me. So another 20 feet plus another 20 for levitation.
Okay,
in theory,
so you're basically levitating 40 feet. You're like levitating 30 feet above the roof.
Yes.
Which means you're now like 70, 80 feet above the bottom of the courtyard.
A potentially fatal drop for almost anyone, right?
Yeah, and how long can you hold that levitation?
Let me look it up.
15 seconds.
It's pretty good. Oh, hold on. Concentration up to 10 minutes.
Concentration. Okay. So quite a while. Which
So yeah, I can go potentially pretty high.
Which okay, so it's a good thing you did this because we do come around to pressure bay again right now. And as soon as you push off and you're now floating above, like 30 feet above, like 80 feet above the bottom of this the shaft down into the courtyard, just a few moments later, a few seconds later, he starts to struggle against his. Let me go, you filthy bug.
Are you sure?
Are you sure you want me to let you go? Because I will.
He looks down and he goes, No, don't let me go.
Let me go? Okay. And I'll go higher and higher and higher.
But it's your turn. I mean, at first he starts to resist your grapple, but then he decides, no, not a good idea. And so now we're back inside. It is the halfling's turn. The halfling looks out the window to where pressure bay has just been taken, looks towards Desi, looks back towards Char, out into the hallway where Geza is, assesses her options, and then puts her hands up and says, "All right, fine. You got me. I'm just a hired hand. I'm not willing to die for this."
Desi, this is your party.
My God, I want to throw her out a window. But everything I've tried to do has gone quite poorly, so let me think about this a different way.
Well, she does disengage and step back into the corner over here. Hands up. She's actually even she's dropped the obsidian short sword on the bed in front of you, and the dagger she just has sheathed back into its little slot on her leather belt. Listen, I'm just a hired hand.
Drop the dagger.
Fine. She takes it out and she drops it to the ground. She's like I said, just a hired hand.
Who do you work for?
I work for Pressure. He's been my boss for months now. We've been looking for you.
Do we have Metaconcert back?
Yeah, you do actually. She's like, and she goes, yeah. She says, shit, what was she gonna say? I had something she was gonna say, but she lost it. She's just looking around, like you can see she's like starting to kind of like shake and tremble, kind of like assessing, like trying to find where the good exit is, but knowing like kind of her situation is lost at this point.
I'll tell everybody who's in the Metaconcert with me that if we let her live, we're going to be descended upon by Templars.
Geza wants to push into the room and be in the other corner.
Over here?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we can leave initiative. We can leave initiative mode now.
We'll be leaving.
Go into role-playing mode.
Sorry. If we let her live, we'll be descended on by Templars?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Templars are trying to kill me. If the Templars know I'm here, we'll be hunted for as long as we're in this city.
Wait. Can you explain why you think that Templars are after you?
Because my brother would send them, wouldn't he?
Well, that's uncertain. It's in Auric, perhaps, but it's even uncertain as to whether, like, how much influence your brother has in Auric with the Templars anymore. I mean, your family has been pretty much broken. So, however your brother is currently operating is a complete mystery to you.
Oh, I thought he had control of the Templars. Sure, at least
he had Templar contacts in Uruk, but you don't know how any of that has panned out since you had to flee Uruk.
I mean, he in theory was trying to get in with the Templars. That was part of the deal, but like that's still Uruk. How much influence he would have, and like Tyr and Uruk kind of hate each other.
Yeah,
so
and
like,
keep in
if
mind,
anything,
like,
the Templars wouldn't help him. They'd be like, "Fuck that guy."
And keep in mind that the Templars of Uruk are a completely unique institution from the Templars of Tyr. They are not part of the same organization.
Oh, okay. So it's sort of like
because they serve the king. They're the king's guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are Calyx men, where your brother might have some ins with Hamanu's men.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
not that Ma'ak would know that.
I would say, if not citing the Templars, I would say if certain people find out that I'm here, I'll be hunted.
What's your name, girl?
Desi Durard.
No. I know your
name.
The
girl.
I'm talking to the strange woman. That's
She says, it's Laj Abish.
Laj, who knows what you know?
As far as I know, it's just Pressure knows what I know. And then whoever Pressure talks to. But I don't know who Pressure talks to.
How long has Pressure been on Desi's trail? We just got here. How did he know?
Pressure was sent here several months ago by someone up in Uruk. He doesn't really talk about it, but we've been looking for this one ever since. Just posted up. He's been masquerading as a Dragon. paid the Templar off so that he could wear the red. And we just hang out. We just watch the gate, hoping one day she'd show up. And today just happened to be a lucky day.
And then the plan is to take her where?
I don't know. I was just supposed to deliver poison because I look like a kid. And after that, she's supposed to go to sleep. We're just supposed to come, pick her up. It was my job to make sure that she wouldn't be able to, talk with anybody through her mind.
Oh, you're the one disturbing that.
Yeah, it was me. That's what makes me special.
Is this what you want to be? A bad person doing bad things?
What other kind of person is there?
Person who chooses to do something good with their lives?
Good. What I look like a sucker?
Would you
There
rather
ain't no good in this world. you do good, you get taken advantage of.
So, in your mind, how do you convince us to let you walk out of here alive?
You got Pressure. You got who you came for. What do you need me for? I don't know who Pressure talks to. Like I said, I'm just a hired hand. How long are you in town for? I got contacts. For the right price. I don't need to work for Pressure. You fellas look like you got coin, got ceramics.
We've got coin. You know people. How long have you said you've only been here for a short time though?
No, I grew up in Uruk. Pressure hired me once he got here. Found me in the Shadow Square. It's usually where I search for grift.
I'm wondering if there's any leverage in having her tell people I'm dead. If she could start the rumor that I'm dead, I'd have to say my real name. She'd have to use my real name.
Yeah. I could do that. I'd go around and tell people you're dead.
But how does that sell when Pressure is not saying the same or not alive?
Well,
just kill
what we're doing with Pressure.
You just kill Pressure. You kill Pressure. Everything's fine with me. I don't have to say nothing. You just, I don't know, give me a few ceramic pieces. I'll make sure that nobody knows you're still alive.
I think there's a 0% chance that we're going to pay you today. We may pay you with your own life, and perhaps we'll hire you in the future. But if you try to negotiate anything beyond that, you will be sadly mistaken.
I mean, if you want you're taking my patron. If you take my patron, well, then that makes you my patron.
If we take your patron, we can give you the money your patron was going to give you off of his body.
Okay, but
You're not
still
getting
makes you
anything
my
from
patron. Don't you? I'm a halfling. You kill my patron, you're my patron.
Sure. All right. I see what you're saying. Do you know anyone in the Alliance?
Rob, you're muted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said no. I mean, I'm not part of this, but it's like Ma'ak will be your patron. He'll kill your master right now.
Pressure says, the Alliance. I'd have to ask around. They're real secretive types. Hard to find. On the other hand, you take pressure out. It's been a long time since I've had a proper meal. I might accept that as payment also.
That's not off the table. Desi, again, this is your show. I don't want to willy-nilly kill this woman, and she seems like she could be a valuable asset.
Before we move forward, let me jump up to Mock, who has pressure. Right. So up there, Pressure's like, what are you gonna do? He's gonna drop me.
We'll switch to metaconcert so that he need not, rasp his way through that, and that Mock doesn't have to speak common because he hates your stupid language. So, and then in metaconcert, Mock will, in his very clear voice, say, "Share with me every interesting memory you have about your patron, the brother Leonis, and be quick about it. We don't have much time." And as we continue to rise and rise, higher and higher, and actually, this will be great because now I'll actually
in your voice. He goes, "Okay. What do you want to know?"
Everything.
Everything. What do you mean everything? Everything.
Well, hopefully he's starting to share memories, but basically what has happened to her brother since they parted ways? How long has he been in Tyr? Why was he sent to Tyr? What made him think that she would come here? What are the brother's plans? Where is he now? What are his weaknesses? Why do you care? Why are you working for him? How can I, short of killing you, how can I assure that you won't be a danger to Desi or Tara or whatever he thinks her name is, etc. And hopefully he's pretty convincing because I honestly do not care if I drop him. If he struggles, whoops, so.
Okay, so let's parse this back down because you threw a lot of shit at me. So what was the first thing that you want to know? What has happened with his brother?
What has happened to the brother since they parted ways?
The brother is evidently still lurking around Uruk. All of his efforts right now, or most of his efforts, are in trying to find Tara or Desi.
Mm-hmm.
But he has taken up with someone of significance. He doesn't say who it is, but it's some Tyrian Templar by the name of
Leonis has taken up with a Templar?
Leonis has taken up with a Templar who's been doing work in Uruk for something, like some clandestine thing he's been working on. He just knows that his name is Zomort.
Oh, I almost drop him.
Down below, you hear like outside the window someone yell out in terror.
I grab him with my two lesser arms, or whatever. How much? Fate ties us together once again. What is he doing?
I don't know. He's he's helping him with something. It's got to do with you people.
Of course it does.
But he's
Ma'ak probably can't think straight. Desi, if we're meta-concert again, I assume we were all not meta-concert, right? So she'll hear Ma'ak and only Ma'ak's voice in her mind and say, I have him at my mercy. At your word, I will drop him. What do you want done with him? Shall I bring him back down, or shall he meet the ground more quickly?
I believe he could still be of use. Can you break his legs?
I'll try. I'll get about
At least give him a nasty shin splint, if nothing else.
Actually, at the risk of actually killing him because he is valuable, I will lower us back down to the windowsill, Aaron,
to the window.
or whatever it is, and shove him back into the room. So that he'll be at the mercy of my friends, and then he'll basically just sort of stay there at the window to make sure nobody tries to escape that way.
Okay, so he shoves him back into the window, and Pressure is now there, kind of cowering at the edge.
And he's meta-concerted with
around.
the rest of you,
Yeah.
so we can all do this psychically, and he can share memories, and you can ask him whatever you want to know.
Yeah.
As Ma'ak stands there with his Githka ready to cut this guy's throat at a moment's notice.
Now, one quick question I have about Metaconcert is anything everyone says, like everyone hears, like you can't direct something specifically to someone.
Okay, so let's look at it again. So it says, in addition, okay, so wait, until the power ends, the target can communicate telepathically through the bond, whether or not he has a common language with you. The communication is possible over any distance, though it can extend to other planes, whatever. If the target is not willing, it has a wisdom saving throw to try to resist the link. So technically, if he doesn't want to share, he can make a save against my DC 15 right now.
Okay.
That doesn't prevent him from mind link. I can still talk to him, but the whole getting deeper, that's where we're whatever. But then here's the part we use the most. In addition, for the duration of this augment, you can use a bonus action on your turn to share one memory of your choice with all targets of mind link, or allow one target to share one of its memories with yourself and all other targets of the mind link. So it says, I guess it's one or all. One target or all targets, not pick and
Not
choose.
3 of the targets.
Not 3 of the 5.
So
I did
basically
Desi
amongst
only,
all
not
of you-
everybody, right?
But so like basically Pressure could choose to share a memory with you only, or
Yes,
with
or just
maybe
Desi only. Yeah.
Or
I mean,
Desi could
in
do the
theory-
same thing where like Desi could only might want to just share something specifically with Pressure.
Yeah.
Sure,
Okay.
definitely.
So
I mean,
can
it's up
pick
to
and
you whether
choose who you
Ma'ak's
want.
listening in on that party line, since it's his technically meta-concert facilitating it. But I am totally fine if you're just like, Ma'ak didn't hear that. It went on,
I kind
different
of
frequency.
I kind of I think that's the way we should play it. So
Okay, that's cool.
Desi, what do you want to like? What do you want to do? What do you want to say to Pressure?
I imagine a lot. I kind of imagine there needs to be like a great chat, an interrogation. I'm wondering if maybe that would be a better place to start next time.
Why don't we get? Can we go to 8:30? Can we go another 20 minutes or so? Get a little bit further. Find a nicer little just moment to stop. Good.
The
How do
eyes
you
have
want-
it,
how-
all one of them.
Yeah, all 2 thumbs. How would you like to start the interrogation? We'll just begin there. We'll find a moment here in the next few minutes to find a good pausing spot.
I don't. Well, that's the other thing, is I'd like to buy myself some time to maybe think about it.
Okay.
Well, Geza has something to say. So, you're back. Are you feeling calm? Because she has told us why she should be left alive. Perhaps you should justify your own existence.
He looks around at the group of you, and inside your mind's eye, in Metaconcert, he says, "I don't know what you want me to say. I was sent here by your brother. I've got information I can share. If that's what you need."
That's a good start.
Well, what do you want to know?
What were you to do with our friend?
All I was meant to do was keep a lookout. And if she ended up coming here, supposed to detain her long enough for her brother to come.
Has he been contacted? Is he coming?
Not yet, because she hasn't been detained yet. But I was ready. He's already had me contact her a few times, trying to suss out where she's been. But she's never responded.
Oh, is that where I know you're from?
I guess so.
Does that ring a bell, Aaron? Is that actually like that time?
Well, I mean, Desi has had a mysterious voice show up in her head, I think twice now since leaving Auric.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, but because it was inside that psychic space, you could never identify the voice.
So, Pressure, you're a psionicist, and that is how you would reach out?
I'm not a scientist. I'm a bard. That's just my talent.
Ah. You can reach across great space and talk to anyone?
I can't talk, but I can send a message.
Sure.
Where is her brother now?
Her brother's still in Auric, but he's supposed to be coming here in 3 weeks for the Festival of the High Sun. He's coming with this Templar fellow of his, Zomart, that he's been working with.
Coming here.
Coming to Auric for the, like I said, for the festival.
And you don't know what fate befell her should she go back to her brother's care, but you could make a guess.
Well, I'm pretty sure what would happen. I know Tara pretty well. Well enough, at least.
And?
I know that she's not who you think she is.
She's
not so much better than me.
Well.
I actually am. I'm way better than him. I am.
Just a little more, just a little more information for Desi's sake from Pressure. Just to kind of recap some of the things that you recall this individual. That your brother had Pressure, wrapped around his little finger, because Pressure was very much in love with your brother. Your brother used that, and Pressure came into the employment of your brother after his previous partner was murdered, and Pressure himself was also targeted. And the reason why his voice is so raspy is because his larynx was crushed by a giant hair rope by a would-be assassin. Now, the thing about this is that was all carefully orchestrated by your brother as a method to basically take complete emotional control over Pressure as his savior character. And you were instrumental in that plot. Now at the time,
Oops.
Now at the time, you were not aware of exactly what your brother's machinations were. And Pressure's previous partner was like, they were kind of like a duo, partners in crime. Think of like a Burke and Hare kind of group. And Pressure was very much the brains, and the he was the brains behind the operation. He was the smooth talker. He was the one that hatched the plans and hatched the schemes. The other one, Phyllis, was sort of the muscle of the two. And your brother, realizing the abilities, being able to spot those abilities that Pressure has, knew that Pressure had potential to be a valuable agent of his. But his partner was just dead weight and really just a hindrance, and was the one who would, get in the way and fuck things up. So it was, at the end of the day, like you ended up even having it out with your brother one time because he used you for this plot. I mean, you went along with it at the beginning, but he used you, and Pressure to this day doesn't know that you're the one who poisoned Phyllis. And Pressure does not know that your brother was the one who hired the would-be assassin who crushed his larynx. So yeah, and just role-playing wise, the rest of you have no knowledge of this.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We're not doing. I would love to have done a breakaway room for that, but so those are some of the things that you have, and you've always known. And then Pressure was always just ended up being a lackey because of his devotion to your brother. Granted, Pressure still, Pressure, like everybody in your brother's sphere, always concerned at the end of the day with number one. So that Pressure will try to save his own hide before he'll, go out on that far of a limb for your brother. Having said that, was there anything you would like to inject before we try to move towards a good resolution point for tonight?
I don't think so. I think I'll wait till next time.
Okay, so think about that. Anything else anybody wants to say? Or question or Pressure before we wrap up?
I don't know if I'd question Pressure, but I do think Ma'ak might have like a one-on-one with Desi. This might be the way to close this out. Ma'ak would say, he is valuable. We can use him as bait to catch our mutual enemies, your brother and the killer of my people. Together, we can use him as bait. If anything, we can use his help to lure them to a place of our choosing.
Do I know this? Do I know his history with Zomort?
No, you don't know who he's talking about with someone named Zomort.
I don't know if we've ever asked Ma'ak much about his past. But that's a name that's probably that I know has come up actually in game. So
yeah,
Geza knows Zomort. So
I would say
again, fate ties us together.
I say we would put a pin in that. This, but I agree that occurred to me as well, that we have an opportunity for an attack. If I am artful, I may be able to recruit this person as an ally, but I am experiencing this new thing called self-doubt.
You should not feel doubt. The wheel of Dej turns eternally. We step on it, or we are thrown off it, but it carries us to our destination one way or another. You and I have been brought to this place, this time, with these people, and for whatever reason, fate has delivered them into our sights. The hunt is on. Let us be successful and ask the elements to grant us great hunt luck.
If there's nothing anyone else would like to add,
Amen.
The one thing I'm really sorry, Kraukus, that you had to post up outside during all of this.
Kraukus, come up here, man.
C'est la vie.
Got to harass plebs outside. It's great.
Yeah.
Should be a mini game.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time we'll stay at the Giant's
Yeah.
Rest.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got started a little late tonight, everyone, and was hoping we could get a little bit further, but that's fine. This is a good place to pause as you hold the fate of Pressure Vey and Laj Abish in your hands, and you can now twist it to your will, hopefully, and draw out of them the information that you seek. And that will happen next time on Adventure Hook, Dark Sun, Fire and Sand. We'll see you after Christmas. I guess at this point it's going to be 2 weeks from now, so I'm not exactly sure what day that is. But
That'd be the 2nd of January. That'd be the new year.
Good. All right, so Happy New Year, everyone. Happy holidays. We will see you on the other side of this terrible, terrible year.
Okay, wave goodbye, everyone.
Thanks all.
Good night.